Purity and truth lead to balanced health, turning up the light. The foundation of the light that heals is purity and truth. Subtler than the purity and truth is a stable flow of life force. This life force is the consistent, effortless presence of that infinite resource from the heart of creation. It is this radiant, inescapable reality that underlies every tiny detail of every life and is responsible for all healing effects. It rises up from the more abstract levels of experience to the fully physical level of experience. That means that subtle healing, emotional and mental, for instance, occurs prior to the emergence of physical changes. This is the stable way to heal. If we try to manipulate the body without a subtle body foundation in place, the seed of the problem will manifest in some other way, or symptoms will return. A download for putting the healing process in order is being received. Just how deep does one have to dig to begin the process? Although the source of creation empowers healing at every point, awareness only has to dig as deep as the seed of imbalance. The seed resides at the point where material experience overwhelms the connection to source. This download defines this point as a feeling that you can always recognize. Awareness fathoms to that point to establish wholeness. Sometimes the point of overwhelm can be right at the surface of life, although more commonly it is hidden in the depths of the field of consciousness. The nature of the material world draws awareness away from the radiant core of life. The tenderest, loving intention to unite these two aspects of reality, material and core, leads to the unfoldment of one's full potential, full health, and heart's joy. Discomfort has the job of inspiring this intention. Discomfort can create crudeness in the system. Consequently, the intention can show up as crude rather than refined. Delicacy is the key to changing the outcome of circumstances with consciousness. The softer or closer to the source of creation itself, the more powerful your intention is. How to overcome the paradox that the intention is made crude by discomfort, and the opposite of crudeness is needed for best success? The answer is that addressing the problem under trying circumstances is like doing yoga. It stretches the nervous system to be more adaptable and stable at the same time. It is not easy by any means. Discipline is required. However, the result is well worth the effort. The more emotional you feel, the more stable you must be to perform effectively. In the causal body, there are centers for stability and adaptability. These are activating and repositioning to make these resources better accessible along the whole spectrum of density. In their core, the anchor to wholeness is solid. At this point in life, the choice to accept these vital resources is unquestionably in your highest interests. Clearing resistance, self-sabotage, attachment to dramas, and the belief that some personal freedom will be lost if one functions in a more virtuous manner. We act with wisdom for the sake of greater freedom. The path of virtue is narrower, but far more fortunate by every measure than the path of iniquity. Establishing a habit of aiming for union even in times of comfort and plenty. This habit, combined with the willingness to let go of that which hampers evolution, helps to circumvent suffering. The action that follows the intention is one of settling awareness into the source of creation and offering the body as a vehicle for the expression of that highest wisdom, to live in this world. When actions arise from your essential nature, they genuinely and spontaneously express divine purity and truth. Each person has a different dharma. A download is being received at this time to reveal the original intention for your presence in this world, for the value of divine expression that you bring through living. This is an abstract feeling. For each person, it is very pure. You can feel it as the essence of purity within your own nature. Your every laudable trait sprouts from this seed of life. It is not that you are perfect or flawed, only that wholeness needs the particular mixture of values possessed by you in order to know itself more perfectly and thus evolve. Purity, or virtue, brings delight. It elicits a response of joy in the whole energy field. This wave of joy adds to the universal voice that supports all life. There are countless ways for purity to express itself. However, at this time, it shines upon the area that is responsible for problems that you currently face. A contrast is struck between problems and your pure potential. This contrast creates an energetic tension that activates the healing process. Witnessing the tension. It is born of the lack of appropriate boundaries. Boundaries, by nature, are the opposite of wholeness. So how can they be good? The answer is that wholeness needs boundaries in order to present itself in the field of matter, energy, light, etc. Appropriate versus inappropriate is measured by wholeness reflecting truthfully or not. The boundary must know that it is the very essence of the divine. The boundary knows because everything that exists comes from consciousness, pure knowledge. Everything is essentially made of knowledge. There is a download here. It is very subtle. Made of energy, but representing optimal balance, this download defines the line of virtue that is found between pairs. See the quotes by Aristotle below. Aristotle thought that virtue resided between pairs of vices. Indeed, it can be found there. However, it can also be found between other pairs, such as pleasure and fulfillment. It is the point of virtue between these two pairs that is the subject of this healing. Clarity, sensitivity, and alignment with this particular balance point is the gift of this healing. Because we are working with purity and action combined, we are looking at how purity shows up as constraints upon action. Specifically, how it sharpens the mind and shapes actions accordingly. The balance point differs slightly for each person and each situation. However, there is a feeling to this boundary that corresponds to the highest intentions of the soul in this lifetime. In almost every case, this boundary is shifting a little more to the side of fulfillment and away from the side of pleasure. Practically speaking, this means being more cautious, patient, and thoughtful. It means taking more factors into consideration before selecting a course of action. It means stretching to see the perspective of others as a gift that strengthens your own position. Even if the perspective of others differs greatly from your own, the broadening effect of considering the other side of an issue is extremely useful for honing in on the big truth. Ultimately, the integration of purity and truth creates a triad with the pure life force, emerging constantly from the source of creation. This threefold structure in the causal body forms a foundation upon which all material expressions can arise to effortlessly support success in every aspect of life. Particularly at this time, when concerns are present, this three-footed foundation ensures that you have all the resources you need to bring the suffering aspects of the body and life back to expressing wholeness. Wholeness is health. Thank you for being with me.